7:12 this morning, and MTA leaders are rolling up their sleeves today for National Transit Employee Appreciation Day.
Transit President Richard Davey is at the bus depot on the west side tackling some tough duties this morning, so we're checking in with him to see how it's going. So good morning to you. Thanks for being with us.
Thanks, Hazel. Good morning, Dan.
Good morning.
All right, so what do they have you doing out there?
Not much, because I probably screw it up. No, in all seriousness, we have 280 buses that leave this depot every day. They're based in Manhattan. Safety pre-checks go on, and then, as you'll see behind me, buses are flying out to make sure our customers are getting around the city safely today.
All right, who else alongside MTA leadership is rolling up their sleeves with you today?
Well, a lot. It's actually, as you said, National Transit Worker Appreciation Day, so this is happening all across the United States. But our senior brass are going to be out all day visiting bus depots, subway, break rooms, the paratransit team, just to thank our employees. I mean, I say that I think these are some of the toughest jobs, in the business, and they go unsung and sometimes unheard. 47,000 people moving our city every day. Yeah,
you said it's some of the toughest jobs out there. I mean, they're having a tough time too, right? I mean, you've had some employees who've been assaulted at work and rallied for more safety measures. So what is being done to reassure them that their work environment is going to be safer?
Yeah, I mean, quite a lot, right? So we are working with the union, but we're doing a few things. I mean, one, the NYPD has offered and provided more police officers, about 1,000 more police into the subway system over the last 6-8 weeks. We are adding cameras throughout our system, so every bus has about a dozen cameras on it or so. We have cameras in all of our subway stations, so if someone does do something, we can get that information to police quickly. And as it relates to our employees, for example, we are about to add full cockpits for our bus operators, so they will be fully protected behind a door from someone who's looking to menace them or worse. So, at the end of the day, we have 4.5 million people that take our subway system, 2 million on our bus network. The vast majority of our customers, want to do it safely as well. So it's those few that we need to prevent against, and we're working closely with labor and the police to do that.
Yeah, and of course you have incidents like last week, right? The shooting on the train, really at the height of rush hour, and that really grew attention not only here but nationally. So do you agree, when you look at the totality of the case, with the district attorney's decision not to charge the shooter in Thursday's incident that took place at the Hoyt-Skirmahorn station?
Yeah, I mean, as I understand it, the DA said that was a preliminary assessment. They're going to continue to look at evidence. I think there's a female who's maybe still at large. I haven't seen the latest on that. So, the case is evolving, but clearly, as our chair, Jana Lieber, said, in this instance, this is about guns. We have way too many guns in our city. A couple of shootings, not in the subway, but in our city over the weekend, which were also, harrowing to say the least. We've got to get rid of guns in our system, and we got to get rid of guns in our city.
I mean, do you know if the person that was shot, if he's going to face any charges?
As I understand it, he was in stable condition. I have not had an update as of this morning, but I don't know, from the DA's perspective, what charges are forthcoming for any of the individuals involved.
So let's talk about, you're talking about transit employee appreciation, right? And there's been some help that's come along the way to help some of those folks out in the subway station. Of course, we're talking about the National Guard deployed. Those bag checks began. So when you look at it all, has it really been a deterrent when you are assessing this now about a week into these bag checks? Any reports of any weapons that were even confiscated because of them?
Yeah, not that I'm aware of in the bag checks, but what I do know is that NYPD, the transit division, and Chief Kemper, who's doing a great job, and his team, we're doing quality of life inspections. So people smoking, people jumping the fare gates, for example, and they've already had 16 arrests as a result of that. Someone carrying a weapon while doing those quality of life. So I think it's important to also say to the police that when they're doing their job against some of those quality of life concerns, then weapons have been retrieved, illegal weapons.
On Friday, when you were here with us in the studio, you did mention that you were meeting with the mayor's office, the governor's office, to talk about additional subway safety measures. So what came out of that meeting?
Yeah, I mean, we had a pretty healthy exchange with the district attorney of Staten Island, and then the other 4 borough DAs sent representatives, to talk about, in particular, recidivism. I think this is the one thing that the chief of transit and we at MTA have been really pushing. Last year we had one individual assault 4 different of our transit employees over a multi-month period. We think he was probably arrested on his way to assaulting a 5th. And so, I understand, bail reform and some of the challenges the criminal justice system has had over the years, fine, but recidivism, I mean, look, you shouldn't have 100, 200, 300, strikes and you're out. I mean, to me, that's ridiculous. And I think that was the conversation we had with the DAs. What can you do within the bounds of the law to make sure that recidivists aren't, creating chaos in our system?
Got it. All right. I know you're very busy this morning. For appreciation, usually our bosses will bring some kind of food or something. Did you bring
donuts?
Did you bring anything for the bus drivers?
We're spreading out some food love across the system. Yes, so with 47,000 employees,
it's a lot of
the
food.
Budget could be a little high. So yeah, but to suffice to say, it's been good to visit with the bus operators today here at Quill.
All right, there you go, Rich Davey. Appreciate your time this morning. Get back to work. All right.
Thank you.
All right, thanks.